Hey everyone, Vintage Vinny here. Welcome to my eBay sales video for the month of June 2024. So I had a really good month this past June. I would say I sold some pretty decent stuff. And I even listed a little bit too. I know that listing items in your store definitely helps get you in the algorithm and gets people into your store and checking out what you've got. So let's go ahead and see what I was able to sell. So the first thing that I sold for the month of June actually worked its way into the month. I found these at the Goodwill, and I had no idea that they were on social media. I'd seen a couple of ads for them after I purchased them. I didn't realize they were as popular as they are, so I got 3 of them for $4 a piece, and I think within a day or two of me listing them, each one had sold. So $12 turned into $90, so essentially $4 turned into $30 for the one that I had sold for the month of June. That's a pretty good return on investment if you ask me. So these pink flamingo figurines I've had listed for a couple of months. Had a couple of offers that I didn't feel were, they just were a little too low for what I had wanted to get for them. So they sat for a little while, and eventually they did sell for $89.99. I did pay $20 for these at one of our local peddler malls. And in this day and age when the thrifts aren't really providing, or the thrifts are really hit or miss, the indoor flea markets and the peddlers malls and the yard sales and everything are usually the best place to find the best stuff. So these were a retail arbitrage pickup. I bought these from Bell's. It's one of my new favorite stores. I like to go to them every now and then because sometimes you can get some really, really good deals, at least at the one that's near me. So summer, I think, had just ended, or we were in fall and winter, and they still had some summer shoes. And I spotted these, and I saw that they were only 40 cents. I was like, I could definitely make some money on those. So I bought them for the 40 cents. I almost want to say that I had a $5 off, so maybe they may have been free. I don't know. But anywho, I did list them for $16.99. I think I sent out an offer of $15, was counteroffered $13. Had no problem taking that considering I paid either 40 cents or got them for free. So once again, I have found some Emma Bridgewater pieces at the Goodwill. I want to say I paid $2 or $3 a piece for these bowls. I sold a mug that I had found at one of the peddlers malls for $40, and it was just interesting, looked different, it stood out compared to the other mugs that were in this one person's booth. So I decided to pick it up, look at it. It said made in England, Emma Bridgewater, and was shocked to see what her pottery sells for. So I think maybe a few months later at the Goodwill, I had spotted some of her bowls, and I knew that they would be worth something. So I had these listed for a while for $179.99. I decided to go ahead and shoot an offer to whomever was watching it for $145, and that buyer happily took my offer, and they sold for $145 from an $8 to a $12 investment. So I picked up this Fenton Cranberry Opalescent Fairy Lamp Shade at one of the peddler malls I like to go to. Paid about $13 for it. I had it up for about $79.99, and someone offered me $70, and I gladly took it. I've never really seen this shade before. It has kind of like that rose bowl top to it where it's kind of crimped. So it was definitely a unique, well, different to me fairy lamp shade. And I made $57 on it. So I was really, really tickled with that. I want to say that this was last summer. Dad and I went to, there's a fairground here in our area that has a flea market, I think, once a month. And we went to it just to see how it was. And I spotted these Bratz, I'm sure I'm going to butcher this, Mew Cheese virtual games. And these are the original pieces. These are not the remade Bratz items. And I paid $5 a piece for them. I want to say that I sold both of them for full asking price of $34.99. So $10 turned into 70, maybe 52, $55. No, I can't do math right now. You get the idea. So about $70 turned from $10. That's pretty good. $70. Did I say 75? I don't know. This is what happens when I film a video. My brain just doesn't think. So this item that's sold is the reason why I titled this video eBay Karen. So I bought two of these Joseph Original Scotland girls, and somebody had bought one of them for $30, full asking price. So, I send it out like I normally do, and about a week later, I get a message from this lady saying she wants to return it. She's not satisfied with it because the label is upside down, calling it worthless because of that. And I'm immediately frustrated because I'm like, really? You're going to be that anal about a label? And to top it off, she accused me of tampering with it. So professionally, I said, hey, I've got the other one. I would gladly send it to you after I receive this one back. So, we come to an agreement. So I thought all is well. I'll just get the item back and I'll send her the right one and we'll go about our day. But the fact that she accused me of tampering with a label that has probably been sticking on this thing for 64 years is beyond preposterous. So I, pissed and moaned. Of course, didn't put that on social media or, did any of that in frustration towards her. Obviously, because you have to have professionalism if you're doing this or, working a customer service job in person. So, of course, I had my moments because I was just like, really, lady, you're going to be that picky over a label? But whatever. So I take my responsibility in the fact that I didn't see that both the labels were, not facing the right way. But most people wouldn't bat an eye to that. They would just enjoy the figurine. But to call it worthless because a sticker issue, like, come on now. But here is the feedback that she left me. So to be fair, I did not pay attention to the labels on these figurines. It's just something that, a vintage item is not going to be perfect. And this just happened to be a little flaw that I just missed. So the reason why she irritated me so much was what she said, calling the figurine worthless and because of a label and such. But also, that feedback that you all just saw, she left me 2 days after we had talked, and I gladly said, hey, I will switch out the one that you had purchased. So we came to an agreement, and I thought, okay, everything's going to be fine, no issues. And then when she left that, I was like, first of all, we just talked 2 days ago. You didn't even give me a chance to receive the item back to be able to fix it and make this right. So your feedback was absolutely wrong. And, you got to have patience because it's not like she shipped this express and it gets back to me in a day. So, like I said, I found that to be a little bit just not right because, I needed time to get the item back, make sure it was still in good shape, so that way I could send it to her. And mind you, the day that I got this item back in the mail, I shipped her item out the same day and brought it to the post office to make sure it was in the mail ASAP. So I went ahead and I contacted eBay. Actually, what I did first is I went through eBay and I had requested a feedback removal. So I did that, and then I went ahead and hoped that it would go through and they would remove it. Come to find out that eBay was not going to remove it because it didn't violate any of their policies and such. So what I did is I contacted eBay customer service, spoke to a representative, and they just said that there wasn't really anything they could do because I had already filed the request to have it removed. They just said you could get a revision once the person gets the item and such. So I was frustrated because I'm like, this doesn't represent the customer service that I provided. Like I'd mentioned to you all before, she didn't even give me a chance to fix the issue or receive the item back before she left that feedback. So I think a few days go by, and I was scrolling through my store and was looking at my feedback, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that eBay sided with me and they removed the negative remark that this lady had left. And so I don't have to deal with her again. I blocked her from purchasing from me because if she does that to me, I guarantee you she does that to other sellers too, and I'm just not going to put up with it. Now, like I said, I take I own up to my responsibility for not checking over a label, even though I think that's the most pettiest thing on the face of the planet. But, this is an old item, and for her to accuse me of tampering with it is just flat out ignorant, and calling it worthless too is extremely ignorant too. So, bye-bye, ignorant buyer. But let's go ahead and bring this back up, and I'll show you all the next item that's sold. So I've had this for, gosh, I couldn't even tell you, a few years. Probably right around the time that the mask mandates were lifted is probably how long I've had this, because I don't think we were masked when I bought this at the flea market. Paid $1 for this. It was a group lot of items, and I had it on Amazon for the longest time, and it just didn't sell. So they sent me back a bunch of stuff, and I haven't sold on Amazon in a couple years because I'm having a hard time finding inventory for that. Anyway, so I paid $1 for this after items came back from Amazon, sorted them out, donated a bunch of them that weren't selling, and then I listed a few things. Thankfully, some of them sold. This was one of them. Again, paid about $1 for this. Sold it for $30. Brand new and sealed board game, All My Children from 1985. So this item I bought when Dad and I were out in the Amherst, Lynchburg area. The thrifting was not the best out there, in my opinion. It just weren't a lot of stores, and they just kind of had a lot of junk. But, there were a couple of diamonds in the rough, hence this Braun door chime from probably the late 80s or early 90s. Paid about $8.99 for this, and I did sell it for full asking price of $34.99. So the week before Dad and I were scheduled to go up to the Lynchburg area, I did buy this Starbucks tumbler cup. Paid $2.49 for this, listed it for $19.99. Took a best offer of $15. It was brand new, never been used. Yet again, I find another one of those white rooster figurines from the 1940s made by Royal Copley. I've had really good luck selling these. I paid $5.95 for this one, and it did sell for a full asking price of $34.99. You will see a lot of the yellow roosters. The white ones, I guess, are a little bit harder to come by, so anytime you can find them, pick them up because you can get about $28 to $35 for them. Those are the prices that I got for the two that I bought, so keep your eyes peeled for those. Yet another item that I picked up at the Amherst Lynchburg mile long yard sale are these tea light candle holders. I spotted them on the table amid some other things, and they looked interesting to me. And when I picked them up, I could feel the quality in them. So these are made in Finland, or were made in Finland. I just put green teal. According to the barcodes, they are a sea blue, and I probably should have put that in the title instead of green teal. But I paid $1 for these, and I believe I had them listed for $59.99. I think I sent out an offer of $45, and I was counter offered $40. Since I only paid $2 for them, I gladly accepted the offer. Like I said, I just spotted them. I picked them up. Never seen that brand before. Thought maybe they sold at Crate and Barrel. But hey, you just never know, right? So I did sell some Paul Mitchell Freeze and Shine Super Spray. Paid $3 for this, and I did sell it for a best offer of $24. You guys know me and my beauty products. Anytime I can find some good stuff. Paul Mitchell's a great brand, and depending on where you get it, it can be very expensive. So anytime I find some really good beauty products for a good price, I will pick it up. Speaking of beauty products, I picked this up at an indoor flea market / antique mall. This is Nick Chavez Plump and Thick Leave-In Thickening Cream. Paid $4 for this, and I did sell it for full asking price of $29.99. And funny enough, 2 days ago, I got a message from someone saying that they would gladly send me an offer of $14, considering it was used. I had a good laugh over that because it had already been sold. So this is the second time I found one of these. This is a 1994 J.G. Duran Crystal D'Arc sailboat. This time it came in the original box. I love the Art Deco style of this piece. I thought it was really cool. I got this at a thrift store that helps support a local animal hospital. And I believe I paid $7 for it, and I sold it for, I think, a best offer of $34. Not too bad from $7, right? Another arbitrage pickup was this Marc Jacobs Brow Wow pencil. I bought two of these, I think in two different shades, for about $1.80 a piece. So $3.60. I believe I sold the one for $12 and sold this one for full asking price of $15. So $27 from $3.60. That's a pretty good return on investment, if you ask me. Here's another item that I've had listed for probably 2.5, 3 years. Is this 1960 Goebel, West Germany Nativity Shepherd. I bought this at a Goodwill for about $5, and it sold for did sell for $30. Someone did say they missed my offer that I'd sent at the $24. I think they just impulsively made the purchase. So they'd messaged me, and I said, hey, I will gladly sell it to you for the $24. So I had just refunded him $5.99, so that way he was only into it for the $24. So, that's a pretty good return on investment, $19. These are another item that I picked up in the Lynchburg area. This is Congress playing cards that were new and sealed for the Neuter Corporation. That sounds like such a funny name for a company, considering we all know what neutering is. They were new and sealed. Ooh, oh, there we go. Very interesting. I have no idea what exactly this corporation was or is, if it's still around. So I probably paid $1 or $2 for these, and I did sell them for $19.99. I did sell the other Scotland girl. This one, as you can see, does have the label upside down and is a little messed up. Being 64 years old, you have to expect that things are not going to be perfect. But paid $5, sold for $20, so $10 turned into $45. I will gladly take. So this really surprised me. This was at the Boonesboro Mall for quite a while, and it is some turtle wax liquid polish for your car. I'd never seen it when I'd gone into Walmart or any other store. So that to me indicated that it may have been a discontinued product, and I was right. So at the Boonesboro Mall, one side of the store, you really can't look anything up. I just have horrible reception there. If you go into the other side of the mall, I have better reception there, so I'm able to research things and weed out what I can and can't sell or don't think I can make much money on. So I looked this up, and I was pleasantly surprised to see that it was worth some money because it's not made anymore. So I paid about $3.50 for it, and it did sell for full asking price of $69.99. Who knew? And the final item that sold for the month of June is this really awesome Playboy Eau de Toilette spray for women. Never had seen this before. Again, it's something that I've had for about 3 years, so it's been in my store for a while. And it finally did sell for $14.99. I did pay $3. So, folks, that is everything that I would like to share with you all from my sales for the month of June 2024. Let me know down below in the comments section what items surprised you the most. What sales have you had that were great in June? I'd love to know. Again, leave it all down below in the comment section. If you'd like to check out my eBay store, the link to it is down below in the description box. I've got over 200 items, and I try to add things as best I can. Have a great one, guys.